So I figured I would start with a little introduction so that people who don't know me can get to know me and understand kind of what I'm all about. So first off, hi. My name is Erin Somerset and I live in Los Angeles and I do Reiki. And some people wonder what Reiki is, how can it help me, how can it help just like my day-to-day life. And honestly, about 2011, I didn't know anything about the stuff that I do now. My life has completely shifted from one of feeling really doubtful and a lot of fear, feeling really overwhelmed all the time and not understanding why. I used to have a completely different job. I did special effects makeup and makeup for years. I taught in San Francisco and I lived in LA for a while. And now I'm back in LA and doing this energy work and doing spiritual counseling and helping people understand energy better. I really wish that someone would have, I wish that I would have found this stuff a lot earlier in my life. It would have made things so much easier because I was like a little sponge and I just absorbed everybody's stuff all the time. I guess if I was going to identify as an empath, and in terms of like intuitive abilities and intuitive gifts, which we all have, by the way. I'm definitely a feeler first, so clairsentience. I feel things very intensely in my body. I feel things very intensely, just like, I can walk into a room and if there's been arguments or if somebody's upset or if somebody's been sad, either currently and or previously, I walk into a room and I can feel it in my body. And, that can be really overwhelming when you're young and you don't realize that that's what you're doing. If you have any kind of imbalances or blocks in your lower chakras, in your sacral chakra and your root chakra, you're going to have a hard time because you're going to pick up a bunch of people's stuff and you're not going to be able to differentiate between what's yours and theirs, and it's going to be really overwhelming. So, like I said, I had a very different life. Overwhelmed all the time, sick all the time, like always sick, always really depressed, low moods, just like my weight fluctuated a lot. I couldn't, I used food was kind of my thing. Kind of just all over the place and really just, feeling lost. But, people get in those funks and I just kind of figured that's how life was supposed to be. Didn't really think there was any other way to live. So anyways, I had moved home in 2011 to take care of my mom who was sick. She had been diagnosed with cancer and I kind of went through my own breakthrough from the breakdown. I had lots of bad stuff kind of happen. I was overweight. My relationship that I had been in for a really long time ended, and I just was feeling really lost. Taking my mom to the hospital, they actually offered Reiki in the hospital as part of like a homeopathic, naturopathic, just alternative stuff. So I thought that was really interesting, and I didn't really know what it was. People always say like, ooh, that person has bad energy, or oh, that person has good energy, but like, what does that even really mean? At least I didn't really like think of it other than just like the statement. So in my own path to healing, and there was a lot of healing that needed to happen, I started looking at alternative ways and, I'd been in therapy and it had been very beneficial talking things out, but then actually realizing that there's more to it, there's more stuff, and I just kept seeing Reiki everywhere. So that's one thing to keep in mind. When you start noticing signs or things start popping up over and over and over again, it's usually, something inside that's kind of trying to lead you down a certain path. So anyways, I spent a lot of time in the library because I had no money at the time, and reading lots of books on oils and herbs and just natural healing because cancer runs really rampant in my family, and I was kind of like, this has to stop. Like, what's going on? So I found a book on Reiki and started reading it and was like, I need to understand this. So I went and found a teacher who is amazing. Her name is Marissa Morris and she's in San Diego. And she really changed my whole world. I don't know if she realized it or, even understood what a profound effect learning this healing had on me. But so for those of you who don't know what Reiki is, so it is an energy healing technique that originated in Japan in kind of the early 1900s, and 1900s, and It's a form of hands-on healing, so it's working with universal energy that's around all of us. Everything is energy. I mean, that's scientifically proven. That's not some woo-woo kind of stuff. And the energy that's around is channeled from around through the practitioner, and it comes out the palms of the hands into the person that's receiving the treatment. So it works with restoring balance to the body, bringing harmony. It's just really relaxing and calming, and so many people don't get to that relaxed and calm state. This allows the body to, again, become in harmony, and it unlocks its own natural ability to heal, which is like amazing. Like, we're meant to heal ourselves. We heal ourselves naturally, but for some reason, and this is not to knock Western medicine at all, but for some reason, I think Western medicine to some extent has taken away our own power. Tells us that we have to take these pills and do these things, but they don't really explain like why, or like what's the underlying reason for these imbalances or these diseases. So taking control and being like, okay, I can do this. My body is able to do this. So learning Reiki, learning about how stagnant energy, how blocked energy, how pretty much any emotional or any physical ailment or sickness has an emotional, mental, and spiritual component. And I never really looked at it that way before. And once I was able to finally see, like, connect the dots, I was like, duh, like, why did I not know this before? Or why did this not occur to me before? But again, I wasn't ready. If somebody had come at me earlier in my life with this stuff, I would have been like, what, But luckily we're in a day and age now where so many people are open to this stuff, and thank God, because, it's so amazing, and it can really be beneficial for so many people for so many reasons and things. So I'm so glad that I found it, because I was able to take control of my life in a way that I never had been able to before. I kind of just thought things happen. I was going to be sick all the time. I was going to be overwhelmed all the time. I was going to be in fear all the time. And it's not easy. Like, doing this stuff isn't easy, like doing the self-healings and, getting the treatments. I mean, even those of you who maybe have gotten Reiki treatments before, you think like, oh, hey, I just lay on a table and I get some energy and I feel great. Woo, party. But a lot of stuff shifts around, and sometimes it can be really uncomfortable, and sometimes you get really sensitive after a Reiki treatment because things are being brought to the surface, which is important. I mean, we're layers. We're multi-dimensional. We have lots of stuff going on. So, Reiki is pretty much what made me who I am today, who I've always been, which is, such an amazing feeling, because before I just felt kind of lost and scattered. So again, it's working with that energy, putting it into the energetic body, the mental body, the emotional body. It's clearing stuff out. It's allowing your body to get into harmony. I do healings out of Los Angeles. I also am an intuitive, so I get information. And I wouldn't call myself always an intuitive. Some people are like, ever since I was born, I talked to dead people and I did all this stuff. And you know what? I had experiences like that when I was a kid. I definitely had lots of imaginary friends that my mom's like, who are you talking to? And I definitely had a lot of weird visualizations and stuff like that, but I blocked it off because it was really scary to me and I didn't know what was going on. So I think, my angels and guides decided to shut that stuff down so that I didn't completely lose my mind. So for that, I'm grateful. And then, doing the healing and clearing out the channels, it just opened up so much more and so much faster. In Buddhism, they talk about different ways that you reach enlightenment. And there's a couple ways. Like, one, you go meditate for years and years and years on a mountain. Other times you reach enlightenment because you have a breakdown, like there's a death or there's trauma or there's things like that. How many of us can relate to having something like that happen in our lives? So, I really had the rug pulled out from under me in a lot of different ways. And it was me finally fighting and being like, no, I'm not going to live my life this way anymore. I'm going to do something different. Got me to where I am. So for those of you out there who feel really lost and really scared and hopeless, don't, there's hope. There always is. So sometimes when you get angry, use that anger, use that fire to push you into the next place. I didn't have boundaries. I didn't have boundaries at all. I didn't really learn how to have boundaries. And as an empath, that's so important because people take advantage of your boundaries and people kind of like dump on you. They're like, here, take my crap. And then you're like, oh, I feel bad. And they feel great and they walk off. So, you know, learning Reiki, learning about energy, learning about how to take care of myself, self-care, those things really shifted so many things for me in my life. And I wake up really happy, like genuinely happy. And I love what I do, and I love that I can help people find that peace, that inner peace. I do lots of different types of healings as well. I'm a Sui Reiki master teacher, also Karuna Reiki. I've also been attuned to Violet Flame Reiki. There's lots of different healing modalities out there. So I encourage people out there who feel really lost, you know, again, like try something new, try something that maybe is outside your comfort zone, because this was way outside my comfort zone and it completely changed my life. You know, the energy was there and the energy wanted me to do something different with my life, and I'm pretty happy now. So over the next, however, this is obviously a new YouTube channel, I hope to bring information and lessons and teachings and just like things that have worked for me. You know, not everything that I say on this channel will resonate with you, and that's completely fine. And if there's something that you're like, then put it down and don't pick it up. You know, we all have free will. So please, I ask you to be open, but also if something doesn't feel right for you, then that's fine. And that's perfect. That's whatever's right for you is right for you. So, because there are things that I read sometimes and things that I see that I'm like, meh. So I just kind of leave it. And also it's like trial and error, you know, with anything. There's things that I've tried that I'm like, I didn't really feel much, or I tried other things and I was like, oh, that was like amazing, or things that I wasn't expecting, you know, to have such a profound effect did. So I just started being curious. So I ask you to be curious about this other side of things, because I think when you are able to bring in, you know, healing, and you're able to look at yourself as more than just physical, when you're able to look at yourself that you have these other sides of yourself, these other components, these mental components, these emotional components, these spiritual components, and they all are interlocking. They all work interdependently of each other, not independently of each other like a lot of people feel. If you can bring all those facets of yourself together, then that's when you feel whole and complete. So subscribe to my channel, that'd be amazing. Give this video a thumbs up. Also in the comments below, write anything that you maybe are interested in learning about, because I definitely have ideas, but I'm not exactly sure which way to go yet. So with this channel, because I want people that want to be helpful and informative. So please comment below. You can find me on Instagram at Diamond Mind Reiki. You can also find my website, which is www.diamondmindreiki.com. I also have blog posts and things like that about different stuff. So yeah, I'm excited that you guys are going to come with me on this journey, because this is really outside my comfort zone, doing another thing that's outside my comfort zone. Because, you know, when you're on social media, it's like you can put things a certain way and you can do whatever and it comes across, but like, this is me. You're gonna see all my derpiness and all my weirdness, and sometimes I might swear, and sometimes I might say things that are just totally bizarre, but you know what, that's me, and I'm embracing all that I am and putting it out there so that you guys can see it. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I should be posting another one hopefully soon. And yeah, all right, bye guys.